And welcome back to another episode of Father Mahoney's Movie Review. So today we're talking about the comedy from 1979, Meatballs, starring a very young Bill Murray and Chris Makepeace, who you might remember from My Bodyguard. So growing up as a kid, this was one of my the movies that I watched constantly. I It was hilarious. It was funny. It was a relatable story, especially the Rudy character, played by Chris Makepeace. But with that said, when on my rewatch, I still found it funny, but I also found it a little dated. I'll always have a special place in my heart for this. Like I said, I grew up with this, but you know, with a different perspective now, it does have some slow parts. It's not the perfect comedy I remember. But also, with that said, I still found it enjoyable. I did like the two different stories that were going on between the zaniness of Bill Murray leading a bunch of CITs, you know, counselors in training, all horn dogs, and I still found that part of it funny. But I also enjoyed the aspect of the softer side of Bill Murray, who had a soft place for Rudy, who was the outcast camper who felt like nobody wanted him around, and the playing almost like the big brother to this kid. Still zany, but also you see a much more sympathetic side to Bill Murray's character when he's around Rudy. Um, with that said, because it feels dated now, I can't give it a 5 anymore. I used to always, if you asked me 20 years ago, I'd still say it's a 5. I still think it's worth the watch. It's like a good 3.5. 3.5, I'll give it out of 5 stars. Because of like I said, the different aspects you get from Bill Murray. Because you can really never go wrong with Bill Murray. Um, the styles, like I said, the outdatedness, it, the cars. I mean, obviously, it's an older movie, and you have to look at it from that perspective. But it just feels older to me now. I've watched other '70s movies that I can still like feel the freshness in it, and this is unfortunately not one of those anymore. But still highly recommended. My recommendation is go into, if you've never seen this, which you haven't, then I don't know where you've been. But if you haven't seen it, go in with if you were living in the '70s and even early '80s. So, um, like I said, 3.5 stars. Great performance by Bill Murray, like always. And Chris Makepeace's character. Some of the CITs are a little corny and flaky, but it's a worth a watch. I know it sounds like I dissed on it a lot, but it's worth a watch still. So uh, maybe in the future I'll do some of the sequels, because I really remember, if I really do remember liking Meatballs too. But I used to love Meatballs, and now I just like it. So much love.